What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Paper Jacket Podcast. Today I talk with Amanda from CFB Outdoors. You might think you know what happens behind the scenes when it comes to cleaning parks or cleaning the beach, or maybe having construction sites that are organized and having the right porta potties around. These are the kind of conversations we're going to have with CFB Outdoors as she explains what kind of business they have and ultimately how you can hire them for your construction needs. Let's get into the podcast. Thanks for joining our podcast, Amanda.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so go ahead and tell our audience who CFB is and who your target audience is.
So CFB Outdoors is a company that my husband and I own together. We have aggregates like millings, 57 stone, oversized rock, road base, paver base, which is kind of the same as road base. We have fill dirt, septic sand. We also have portalets, dumpsters for construction sites. We have land clearing, demolition, tree service, and we are the beach maintenance guys on Volusia County beaches.
So since you don't do a whole lot, I figured let's talk about. So when it comes to someone hiring you, what is your for the most part your basic customer in that situation?
Kind of everybody. We kind of found our niche with small builders rather than like the big subdivision type builders. Mm-hmm. But we also, homeowners use us, municipalities use us, commercial. We've got some accounts like the Speedway, the Daytona International Speedway. So we're kind of all over the place.
Sure. Yeah. What got you into this business?
My husband started out doing bobcat work for a bee company, Horsebow Bee Company, which at one point was the largest honey supplier in the world. Like he sold to Honey Nut Cheerios and stuff. And so he learned bobcat there, and he started out picking up loads. This is way back in the day. Tree guys didn't have their own dump trucks and stuff. They'd hire somebody to come and pick up their loads. So he started out as the guy that picked up the loads. Then he started his the tree service. And then we morphed into doing lawns, which we don't do anymore, but we did lawn care. We had 180 properties for the Volusia County at one point. Then we branched out into the beach maintenance, the garbage guys, the ramp grading. And then when the storms hit, there was a lot of like seawall damage that came with concrete. And so we figured we could utilize that concrete, and that's where all the aggregates come from. It's recycled concrete, basically. Gotcha.
So, so when someone has a lot of damaged seawall, stuff like that, especially over here on the east coast of Florida with basically an entire Daytona Beach area is like a whole seawall there in front of hotels. So when that crumbles, you guys help pick that up, take it, and you're able to recycle it.
Yes. So the contractors that were replacing the seawalls, they used us for their dumpsters to put the old seawall, the concrete in, and we would haul it. Even some of the, like county parks, we got concrete from that. There's concrete all over that you never think about. And so we can reuse it.
So it seems like you're basically the business that no one kind of thinks about when they're outside of the industry, right?
Right.
It's, no one thinks about like, okay, I have a construction site or I got something going on. I got to get a porta potty. No one's thinking about that per se. And it's not like on top of the list, like I can't wait to call and get my porta potty. But then it becomes a very important aspect.
Well, correct. Job. I mean, you can't pass inspection without a porta potty on your job.
There you go, right?
So it is. We're nothing glamorous. I kind of say that we're like the contractor's helper.
Very much, yeah.
All the stuff that they need somebody and need it fast. When you're building a house pad, you need fill dirt and you need it there. You're ready. You have your guys waiting. We've got our trucks ready to bring to you. I mean, we can deliver same day a lot of times. And you never know what you're going to need. You might think you need 10 loads of fill. Come to find out you need 12. We'll add 2 more. We'll take care of it right then.
And when you say beach maintenance, like for someone who's maybe not used to knowing what that consists of, it's like, what? All beaches have sand. What's the matter?
So our beach, Volusia County, is unique in the fact that you can drive on it. Yeah. So there's Volusia County maintains 36 miles of beach within the county. We are the garbage guys and the ramp graders. So our guys work 365 days a year unless a storm. It has to be a named storm, not just an afternoon thunderstorm. But we're picking up the garbage that's on the beach. We're emptying the garbage cans. We're grading the ramps for access to the beach. We do the playground repairs, minor repairs on the playgrounds. We do like the CZ post realignment. We do the rut raking so the turtles don't get stuck in the tire tracks, so they can make it back out to the ocean. So it's a lot. It's a diverse environment out there also.
Naturally. I mean, again, it's kind of the business that no one thinks of, but they all appreciate, because if it's like, if this didn't exist, you notice right away. Right.
Yes.
So, it's kind of, I need you to unpack the story a little bit more, how your husband went from like picking up some stuff from honey bees to being like, I'm going to maintain the 36-mile coast of Volusia County. Like,
so he started out doing hauling. Well, he got his CDL during that time also. So he hauled bees and would unload them. They'd go all over down to the Keys to Georgia. And you have to find rural areas, I guess, that somebody's willing to take thousands of honeybee hives. So that's kind of how he got into the hauling standpoint. And then the bobcat
a lot
work.
of people, the networking with what's going on in the state of Florida, so on and so forth.
Yeah, and he was much younger. That's before I met him. So
yeah.
But he learned the bobcat at that point, and so that's how he started out with. Once he left Horsebell, he became. He was just a hauling company. It was Central Florida Bobcat. That's what CFB stands for. And so he was just a bobcat company, and he could do grading for, you got to think 30 years ago, we didn't have subdivisions here in Volusia County like we have now. So people were building one house at a time. He would go do that. He'd haul the loads for the tree guys. Obviously, you want to grow your business. So he realized, why can't I be a tree business and haul my own loads?
Right.
So then he branched into that. We got the Volusia County tree contract in 2007, which was our first contract with the county. Then we kind of got our foot in the door with the county at that point.
Is that tree maintenance, or is this simply just tree hauling?
No, it's actually trimming and removal.
Got it.
So,
okay.
And we've had that since then. Every time it's come back up for renewal, we have won
Awesome.
it again. So at that point, we learned that there was a lawn maintenance contract that Volusia County was putting out, and we got that in 2009. So we branched out from trees to lawns, which kind of go hand in hand. That's where at one point we had 180 properties that we maintained just for Volusia County.
Wow. And when you say properties, are you talking about residential, or are you talking about mostly commercial?
County,
Okay,
all
got
municipal.
Got it.
From parks to facility buildings, that type of thing, all throughout Volusia County.
Right.
So in 2009, we got that. In 2014, the beach maintenance contract came up for renewal. And that's something that Ben, my husband, had always been. Let me back up. The beach maintenance used to be in two different things. It used to be garbage collection and ramp grading. Okay. So he was always interested in the ramp grading. That's it's done with a tractor, but bobcat, skid steer,
Yeah.
He'd always been interested in that. And then they had combined them before it was up for renewal in 2014. So we decided that we wanted to take a chance and bid on it. And we did, and we won.
Nice.
So the guy who had it before didn't bid. We had been with the county, as a contractor. They kind of knew of us. They did know of us. We had been working for them in different aspects for 7 years at that point, close to 7 years. Yep. So we kind of they had a reputation. We had a reputation with them, and a solid one at that. So we've had it since then. And so the beach has changed tremendously in the last 12 years as well.
With all those different storms.
With all the different storms and the population in Volusia County, the amount of beachgoers, it has grown just like Volusia County has grown. So the amount of people that go, and we fortunately got to grow with it.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how it went. It was just, we bid.
Is it just Volusia County right now that you have? Are you looking at possibly going into more counties?
Volusia County's our home. We love Volusia County. Ben's lived here his whole life. I was born here, moved to South Florida, and moved back. So I wouldn't say never, but not actively pursuing.
Sure. I mean, Volusia County is a pretty big,
it is,
beach county.
It is. And so the counties north and south of us, Flagler and Brevard, they don't have beach driving. It's not quite the same. And you want to do a good job. You don't want to be so far from what you're doing. So being here where we're working, I think, is what helps give us the reputation that we've got.
Right. So when did you ultimately join the business and stuff like that?
So I worked at Deltran until 2009 when we got the lawns then it became there was a lot more that I needed to do that I didn't want to do on the nights and weekends. So I've been full-time with CFB since 2009.
Nice. So what have you seen in your growth of the business ultimately, from culture to the ups and downs and so on and so forth? What have you kind of tried to focus on in the business?
I think this is with any business. There's a diverse work group. The schedules that we maintain, so the beach runs at a split shift. They are morning, then you kind of go home. You do go home for a little bit, and depending on the time of year, you come back right after lunch or later in the afternoon. That's not how the tree side works. That's not how porta potties, dumpsters, they work Monday through Friday. The beach guys, they don't get weekends off.
Right.
So adjusting to that was a learning curve, but again, fortunately, we grew with everything. And so it wasn't like something was thrown at me that I couldn't handle. I was able to grow with it. And, it's really been fun. I wouldn't say it's been too challenging. I guess some of the biggest challenges are the cost. Everything's going up.
Sure.
Right now.
What kind of things are you seeing go
insurance
higher?
Is crazy.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Insurance is insane. And then, the minimum wage, that's going up a little bit each year. But then when COVID hit, everybody was like, oh, we're going to jump to $15 an hour. And we're kind of backed into contractual pricing. So it was hard to compete. But our guys, we have a solid group of guys. We really do. And they stick with us. There's always, one on each group that's kind of being replaced quicker than others. But when I just looked at the beach guys, the average tenure was 6.5 years that these guys have been with us. So they love their jobs. They love, the environment. I think they love us even. So as much as an employee can love their boss.
What would you say your main focus is on helping build a business?
Oh, all the admin side.
All the admin side. Okay. The paperwork. Do you get into the culture side of things at all, or is that more on your husband's end?
Well, we work together, so I hear it. Even if I'm not involved, I'm hearing it. I'm seeing it. But I don't.
I mean, knowing your type of industry, right? It's not common for a business like you to worry about building a brand or anything like that. You're just, because at the end of the day, you're going after the county. The county just wants to make sure you're a reputable company. You're going to do your job very well. But you decided to kind of focus on brand a little bit more. That's why you hired New York Ave and things like that, right?
Right.
So what would you say is the reason why you guys wanted to push that?
Well, we want to grow.
Yeah.
I mean, and we've got a whole hauling, when you say brand, I think of the logo on our trucks. It's, we do more than just the county. We have a whole other side that does stuff that's not county. The beach is a huge part of what we do, but it's not all that we do.
Sure.
And so we want to make sure that we're growing every aspect of the business.
Yeah. When did the porta potties, just because it's a funny one. So when did you start ultimately doing the porta potties? Was that kind of around the beginning, or?
No. So dumpsters, this goes hand in hand. So dumpsters, we kind of started off doing, it would be easier to bring a dumpster to our tree job sites and leaving it there so that we didn't have to send a dump truck when they were ready. They could load it as they were needed. Well, then we got builders that needed dumpsters. Builders also need porta potties. Yeah. And so it's one of those things, if Ben hears that there's a need for it, he's jumping in. Yeah. And so we've only been doing potties probably 3 or 4 years now. So it's relatively new compared to everything else.
Was it more business than you thought? Did it bring in more business than you thought it would?
Not necessarily more, because it was just hand in hand with the builders. Sure. Now it's growing. I mean, we just did Me Strong, and we had close to 40 potties out there in one section for one day. Yeah. We had the DeLand Christmas Parade. We're getting more into the events, and so it's growing, but it wasn't rapid fire.
Sure. Yeah. And I'm sure, usually these events places in the county or construction companies are working with one company for a little while. So breaking into that is probably interesting. Like, what would you say was your strategy on breaking into these new areas? Like, all right, we're gonna help out with construction now. We're gonna help out with these items now.
I don't know if there was a strategy.
You just saw a need. You're like, let's get it in and
and
spread
Ben
the
kind
word,
of
right?
has a reputation. You know, people, it's always like, well, I don't really know what to do. Call Ben. And so they call Ben. And as soon as he's just like, if one person needs it, there's got to be more than one person that needs it. And so then it's a domino effect. And then people find out that he can do this. He's got that. And they tell their friends who tell their friends. They tell their coworkers.
Do they appreciate the idea of like, this company handles multiple things, so I only have to worry about one company? I
think so.
Is it also you guys show up on time?
Well, I think it's both. I do think that it's the ease of calling one company and they can handle, you know, they'll say, well, your guys know where to dump this load because they brought the dumpster here. You know, they know where this is. But also I do think it's because we show up. You know, Ben is the type of person, if somebody says they need more loads than we have trucks that can handle, he's going to go buy a new truck.
Yeah.
Makes me want to pull my hair out sometimes, but it's what it is.
Right.
So it's, I mean, we're going to show up.
He's not afraid to spend the money where needed to ultimately make the customers happy. And sounds like
correct. That's exactly.
That's why you're going to grow. Yeah.
And he wants to, you know, his name, reputation matters.
Yeah.
And so he wants to keep that.
And I think that's kind of what plays into a lot of you saying we're going to invest in our brand because we care about our reputation.
Yes.
Because to me, a company that says, I don't really care about my brand, I just care about getting business, that's someone who doesn't care about their reputation. That doesn't care about the way they look to others. And
Agreed.
And I think that's how CFB is really, you guys have said, we're not going to just be this, you know, this contractor that only contractors know. We're going to make ourselves known.
Right.
And so when it comes to the growth and stuff like that, what do you want to see happen in the future?
Manageable growth? Is that, you know, it's always scary when it goes too fast, too quick, Very much, too big, too fast, that kind of thing. So I like to see a more steady growth. But
in comparison to years before, you mean?
Well, I think that's where Ben and I balance each other because he's like, there's a need, we're doing it. And I'm like, hold up, let's, you know, steady go it. But I think that balance is important too. You can't be too cautious.
That's always a good husband and wife partnership.
Yeah. You gotta, you know, you gotta have the opposite, you know, somebody rein it in and also somebody that's willing to take chances. If you don't take a chance, you'll never take that chance.
So let me, that kind of segues into what advice would you have for other business owners, whether it's in your industry, in space and stuff like that? What would you say is if you were to give advice to anyone who's like, I'm wanting to grow, I'm wanting to do this thing, what would you say are some important factors for them?
I think you have to love your job. You have to love what you're doing. You have to know that it's we don't have traditional hours. It doesn't mean that we can't separate from work sometimes, but something might happen at Sunday afternoon at 3:00. You've got to handle it. So you've got to be all in, not all the time, but be ready to be all in at all time if needed. It's not an easy thing to grow, but it's rewarding if you're willing to invest in it. And you got to get the right people and you got to treat your people well. They're there, you're nothing without them. And that's, you know, we're all a team that works together. If somebody's not hired just for fun, they're hired for a job because you need them. And so you need to remember that you need them as much as they need you.
Sure. Now you said before that this whole experience has been fun.
Yeah.
And I want you to talk about what that means. Like what part of the fun is it because you love what you do? And that's
what it is. And I love, so my idea of fun is probably not the same as everybody else's, but I love math. And so being able to make all of this work is fun to me. It's so rewarding. And seeing it come to life and realizing that you've been a part of something that is so cool, so big. It's fun. It's fun for me to see everybody work together. July 5th is the biggest day on the beach of the year because of the fireworks. And so everybody that works at CFB comes together and we start, you know, everybody's awake at like 4:00 in the morning. We're down waiting to get on the ramp before the sun comes up. But everybody's there together and the camaraderie and knowing that everybody's doing their part and pulling together is just, it's incredible. It's really neat to see. It's fun. To see it all come together.
So you are really the company to thank for many things happening around Volusia County. companies like yours that ultimately you are the cleanup crew that makes things beautiful for families to enjoy the beach, families to enjoy parks and stuff like that. So thank you for your business and what you do as well.
Thanks.
And again, thank you for joining our podcast too, and coming on to explain your business and stuff like that. How can people like residential or contractors or something like that ultimately contact you?
Well, our website is cfboutdoors.net. There is a contact us page. They can reach us there, or they're welcome to call our office, 386-774-2056.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us, Amanda, and
Thanks for having me.
being part of the Paper Jacket Podcast.